about a week or two ago, we saw the Game Awards come out, and a lot of how do I say? I guess controversial, maybe, or even some indifference, I guess, around whether or not Baldur's Gate deserved to win. Me personally, though, I thought Baldur's Gate was a great game for someone who's never even played this type of franchise or type of game really before. Doing roll turn by or roll or dice rolling turn by base game. I really enjoyed it. And I'm still playing it now because it is a pretty lengthy game. And also trying to get your friends online to play this game all at the same time is kind of tough. But I thought it was a lot of fun. The other games I know that have been mentioned similar are, of course, you know, uh, Spider Man, Alan Wake, and then also too, I even saw Hogwarts Legacy, and I sort of can understand that a little bit. But what do you guys think? Were you surprised that Baldur's Gate won essentially?
I mean, yeah, I was. I thought I haven't played it yet, but I know you guys have told me and gone on and on about it, and so have a bunch of my friends that I need to get it. And now that it dropped on console, because I'm a noob, I don't have PC, I'll probably pick it up. But I for sure thought, when Spider-Man came out, everyone was covering that game, everyone was streaming it, reviewing it, rave reviews. And then I saw, Baldur's Gate. I heard great things about, and I'm like, okay, well, that be Spider-Man. I don't know. Alan Wake 2. Then you also had Legends of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom in there. That new Super Mario Brothers game that came out. Hogwarts Legacy, as you mentioned. So there's some heavy hitters. Um, but I for sure, everyone was so in love with Spider-Man, and I thought that's what it was going to be. And then when they announced Baldur's Gate, I was a little bit surprised, but I was like, okay, well, there's still some hype behind it. So, but I know there was going to be some people that were pretty mad about it.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised. If you look at some of the last few years with Game of the Year, I mean, before this year it was Elden Ring, which, yeah, I feel like storytelling and fairy fantasy games are doing really well right now, and people have just gotten into them a lot. This one in particular, you've got over 200 hours worth of gameplay, which is amazing and a value of its own. The fact that you can play with your friends and there's different outcomes for everything you do. I mean, it's unlimited amount of playing time, in my opinion. I think it's funny that Resident Evil 4, the remake, was up for a Game of the Year this year, which is, I don't know, it's kind of funny. I mean, obviously, like, that game was really good when it came out, and the remaster. It almost makes me think that, like, they just threw in some games at the end to kind of give some variety to the category. But honestly, I love Baldur's Gate. Continue to play it, and I hadn't played any of them before this, and I'm glad that I am now.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, like I said, have a difference of what they thought was, and with Game of the Year, I think sometimes there's a clear choice, right, of what Game of the Year is, and then there's some where you go, well, hey, like I really would like it to be this game because that's my favorite game, but there's definitely two or three other games you could go and say, well, those games are just as good, and even though I didn't like them, if they win, I wouldn't feel any type of way, and I feel like that's almost how it was this year, right? There was, you know, favorite games that you wanted to win, but I think the thing is like the Spider-Man kind of fan base for that game is pretty big, and it may just be like hardcore Sony fanboys just upset that Spider-Man didn't win too. Like I don't know. What's
Everyone had been waiting for Spider-Man for so long, not as long as GTA, but so I know that they were like really pushing for that game just because everyone's been waiting for it and it's been a hot title to come out. Um, so I think that's where all that discourse is coming from.
Yeah, what I was gonna say though too is it's really interesting. Like you think that game of the year sometimes would equate to the best selling game, right? Usually that's
Yeah.
like, that makes a lot of
In
sense.
theory, yeah.
But if I asked you what was the best selling game as far as like unit wise this year, do you know what it is?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, it was Hogwarts Legacy.
I would say that wasn't on Game Pass, and I know people were picking that up left and right. So, I mean, I had to go with that one.
Yeah, I mean the thing is too is you think about the franchise that already or the following for that franchise already, and to be honest, like Hogwarts Legacy was a fun game to play. It did get a little repetitive after a little while, but you know, it was super fun. It was the first Harry Potter game that we've really gotten in
For sure.
over a decade too, and wasn't tied specifically to the movies, and had just enough of like customization and those things that you could really actually enjoy the game. And I'm glad it had success, not because I thought like, I wanted it to win game of the year or whatever, but now I think that opens the door for a bunch more games to now come out because of the success. And I'm really hoping that, eventually, there was rumors, I think, of doing like a Quidditch title, for that. I could only imagine like a my player career with Quidditch, how sick that would be.
Hilarious. You just come out with like a fucking fade and tat it up on your broom.
Well, I mean,
all that VC.
Yeah, you just start off at like one of the schools.
Galleons.
They give you like 4 schools to start off. It's like Hogwarts, Dumpstrain, Bobot, and then like
Bobaton.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But they give you like a couple like schools you could start off. That's like the
Not me, not you. Hermione, you.
Yeah, they give you a couple colleges you could start off, but they're just the schools, and then you can pick like a world's team to go play for, or like they could create like almost like a Premier League essentially with like some of the names from the book. I think it would be a lot of fun, honestly.
I'm just trying to get drafted so I can play with Crumb on the Bulgarians.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they. Me and Darsh used to play Quidditch World Cup on PS2 all the time when we were kids. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and if they could make something similar to that, but definitely more detail, it would be definitely. I'd buy it.
For sure, me too.
What's crazy too about Hogwarts Legacy is the game sold more than 12 million copies in just the first 2 weeks of launch, and I think it ended up grossing around $1 billion and ended up selling, I think, 15 million copies.
Damn.
Worldwide.
When it dropped, I think it broke records on Twitch for streams too. It was the most streamed game.
Yeah.
I remember it was the most hyped game for me. I mean, you guys know, I still play it here and there now, and I'm still finding secrets and stuff. So, I mean, I think it was a great game. I think it just got overshadowed by all the other games. I mean, so many bangers came out this year. Like, what can you do, really, though,